From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm Casey Conlon. A 15-year-old Glendive boy has been missing since the weekend. Hear his mother's pleas for him to come back.
I'm Lindsay Singer, and dozens of truckers are stuck in Shelby due to a border backup. I've got more details coming up.
6:31 on this Wednesday. Chet Lehman, Matt Olo with you here. In the commercial break, we were talking about how do you become good at luging? Did they send you off to luge camp?
Yeah,
or?
they send you off to luge camp. He doesn't do well with others, so we put him in a bobsled and send him down a hill. I don't know.
He hasn't figured it out. We're going to make it skeleton, so he goes head first.
There we go.
That's fascinating.
You know, you could be doing a little of that on a few of the area roadways
for
this
sure.
morning. Snow and ice, a big issue, extreme cold. The wind speeds are pretty consistent, not extremely strong, but enough it's making a difference with visibility and wind chill across the area. Snow and ice on the area roadways. Leave some extra time, folks, as you're heading out. You'll be glad you did. The snow is effectively done. We'll see the skies clear, but it is cold. You look at the day planner, our daytime temperatures into the low double digits by the afternoon today. But it is slick in the morning. We're going to talk more about the cold air and slick conditions. That's, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:32, we're going to start north of the border this half hour. At the U.S.-Canadian border, there are still dozens of truckers backed up. Yesterday, Royal Canadian Mounted Police announced that it is no longer a peaceful protest, it's now an unlawful blockade, and that Mounties will start arresting anyone who continues to actively block the highway. Largest protest happening in this capital city of Ottawa. Drivers are opposed to COVID vaccine mandates. Mandates require truckers entering Canada to be fully vaccinated against COVID or face testing and quarantine. Now, the Canada-United States border is the longest international border in the world with more than 1,000 crossings. Montana has 13 border crossings. The Sweetgrass Coots crossing north of Great Falls is one of 3 major truck routes in the state, a commercial artery for U.S.-Canada supply chains. At this point, it remains clogged and shut down. Now, MTN News sent a team of reporters to the border once again yesterday for our continuing coverage. Our Lindsay Stanger, who caught up with truckers looking to get into Canada.
Canadian truckers are protesting COVID-19 mandates, but this Canadian protest is leaving truckers stuck in Montana with no clue of when they'll be able to go home.
No, we're stuck because, well, we have our freight that's going to California.
Okay.
So that makes it a bit hard for us right now.
It has now been several days since the Canadian border in Sweetgrass has closed its ports. Truckers have found refuge alongside the road in a nearby truck stop and even the small town of Shelby.
I've been here since 6 o'clock Sunday night.
It kind of sucks, but we're getting low on it, but Shelby's not too far if need be.
With all different thoughts and feelings on the protest, but all with the same prerogative.
Just trying to go home.
2 of the truckers that are stuck at the Sweetgrass entrance are independent truckers who have lost what they estimate to be over $1,300 per day.
I'm an owner-operator.
No.
And so is Rob. He's an owner-operator too. Yeah, we don't get paid. There's that guy with that big reel in the orange truck over there. He's owner-operator too. We're not getting paid. We're out revenue.
Should unloaded on Monday morning and reloaded and been back south already, but that's not going to happen.
Some are out immediate revenue, and for those with perishable goods, it's a race against time.
It's expired, and we're here even longer because we can't even leave then until that opens up and we can go back because we're not allowed to enter, obviously.
With no end in sight, many truckers are losing patience.
I've been through a couple of truck strikes through the course of my career, but this is the first time I've been held up like this, where I'm basically hostage to get back into my own country and be able to go home.
In Toole County, Lindsay Stinger,
All I want to do is go out and make a living.
MTN News.
Now, we reached out to our 2 Montana senators for their take on the border blockade. Republican Steve Daines said, quote, "I stand with all Montanans, Americans, and our neighbors to the north who are fighting for freedom against overreaching vaccine mandates." Senator Daines is urging Canadian officials to keep the northern border open. He says these mandates are only causing issues. Now, a spokesperson for U.S. Senator John Tester says, quote, "Senator Tester has urged the Department of Homeland Security to halt its vaccine requirement for truckers and work with Canadian officials to coordinate regulations to provide stability for Montana producers and to protect trade and essential travel across the northern border." He goes on to say, shutting the border down does nothing to support Montana truckers, producers, or our economy.
A Glendive mother is pleading for help to find her teenage son, who she says has been missing since Sunday night.
I just want him back home. That's pretty much it. I just need my son back home.
Paradise Santo reported 15-year-old Kason Hall missing around 11 p.m. Sunday after he allegedly left a friend's house at the Casitas del Rio mobile home park in Glendive. Santo says the friend told her one of Hall's father's ex-girlfriends came to the house and picked him up.
She described exactly, she lives and works at the hotel, which that's where the woman is.
We have reached out to Glendive police, but they have not corroborated the statement. The department posted this notice on its Facebook page Tuesday morning, asking for any leads. It has been shared more than 600 times.
He doesn't have his medication. He doesn't have any clothes that I know of except for what he has on.
Santo says her family has received tips that Hall has been seen back in the Casitas del Rio area, but she says his original friend hasn't seen him since Sunday.
So that's what's really worrying me when everybody says the trailer court, because why wouldn't he go to the one friend who would be there?
This is very unlike him. It's not like him to check in
He
or be
has
gone.
never taken off and disappeared, even for a moment, without me knowing where he's at, without him calling me or finding any way to contact me through anyone's phone. It's not like him. This is never the way he's acted before.
Again, if you have any information on Kason Hall's whereabouts, contact the Glendive Police Department at 406-377-2364. Casey Conlon, MTN News.
6:37 now. On the national scene, affordable housing crisis in America can be counted in the millions. But as Maya Rodriguez tells us, one small company hoping tiny houses can be an affordable housing solution, but do something other tiny homes haven't done: eventually earn money for the landowners.
Inside these walls,
I will say there's a ton of work happening in here, so it's crowded.
2 stories at about 200 square feet each are taking shape.
What we do is we build backyard tiny homes.
Topher Thomas is the founder of Quorum Houses.
We just focus on affordable housing.
By building tiny homes in a specific place.
Particularly in unused space like backyards.
And these tiny houses are now linking up homeowners who have backyard space with renters who need an affordable place to live.
Part of this, building in a backyard, we're already building community.
It all started when Thomas, who is a high school teacher, was building a tiny home of his own in his backyard in Durham, North Carolina. A neighbor he knew got priced out of their rental home.
And they walked by and they said, hey, this is my situation. This is what I can afford. Can I live in your backyard? And I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And Quorum Houses was born. How does it work? Quorum Houses builds a tiny home. They cost about $80,000 and then helps find a tenant needing affordable housing. The homeowners get 20% of the rent. Quorum Houses gets the rest. Depending on the financing plan, after 10 to 15 years, the homeowners get full ownership of the tiny house.
Several tiny homes from Quorum Houses are already up around Durham, with 10 more in development. It's an idea that some find intriguing.
Yeah, we're actually clearing some trees in our backyard right now for this concept.
Homeowner Andy Andrews says it's a way of getting a tiny house built and play a part in making more affordable housing available.
I think it's a great complement to some of the solutions that have already been implemented. I just think they're really doing some great work for really good reasons.
This one will be done by the end of next week, and there's already a tenant who's going to be living here.
As for Quorum Homes,
I mean, the word quorum means presence. It means in the presence of.
The goal is simple.
And so my hope is that by not having to worry about whether my rent is paid, that because of that, they're able to be more present with themselves.
In Durham, North Carolina, I'm Maya Rodriguez.
6:40, I was telling you during that story that I know all about tiny homes. I lived in a tool shed for 4 years in Missoula in this backyard of this lady's house.
Yeah.
It looked just like a tool shed. It was the same size.
No, funny.
It was a little chilly during some of these winter weather conditions like we're experiencing outside right now.
Yeah, definitely dealing with slick roads across the area. Our big concern has been visibility. Snow and ice on Bozeman Pass, Homestake Pass, down the Gallatin Canyon. Surprisingly, not a lot of accidents. There are some slide-offs in the Bozeman area, and it looks like we're going to be dealing with slick conditions for the morning. Here are the major concerns for today. Packed snow and ice on the area roadways, blowing and drifting snow, reducing visibility, and also the extreme temperatures, sub-zero. So be prepared with that, for that with some gloves. We'll talk more about your forecast, of course, in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:41. We are going to take a break. When we come back, CDC issuing travel warnings for some popular winter destinations in Mexico. Find out where at 6:47. Then at 6:49, some appliance shopping tips.